Hi there, this is Dawn McVeigh with Make It Monday. Today I'm going to show you how to use non-background stamps to create beautiful background patterns. I bet you probably already have a pretty wide variety of stamps in your collection that you may not have never considered using to create a background pattern. However, you might be surprised at the beautiful patterns you can create if you just look at those stamp sets in a little bit different manner. So for today's card, I'm going to start out with a little flower image from the new Table Service stamp set. It's this one right here. It happens to be my favorite flower from the set, and while it wasn't specifically designed to be a background, as far as I know, you're going to see today that it works perfectly for that. So I'm turning the flower around so that two of the points of the leaves point toward the bottom edge of the cardstock. It'll make it a lot easier to line things up that way. When I'm creating a background pattern, I like to start on the bottom edge, and I'm going to work my way up. But I'm also starting in the center and working my way out to both sides, and that way I ensure that the pattern will overall be centered on the cardstock. Now for the second row, I'm turning the flower so that that set of leaves, one of them points downward, and I'm just tucking that point right in the space between the flowers from the first line. And now when I do the third row, I'm turning the stamp back the exact same way I had it with the first row down at the bottom, so the 2 points of the leaves are pointing down. And now for the fourth row, I'm going to turn it back just like I did on the second row, with that one side pointing directly down into the space. And I'm just going to repeat that same pattern all over the entire card front. Now, I'm not being overly concerned about if things are perfectly lined up. It's a small image and the pattern is fairly tight, so I think you'll see when we get to the end here that things don't have to be completely perfect. You don't have to worry too much about making sure everything's exact. Obviously, the more you stamp like this, the more you kind of eyeball it, the easier that will get for you too. So don't stress too much about it, just have fun with it. And as you can see, we've covered almost an entire card front here in just a matter of a couple of minutes. This is a really quick and painless process, so don't let it stress you out too much. Just go for it. Now we're almost to the top. I want to be sure and stamp right off the top edge to make it look totally finished. And there you have it. I love how it looks almost like a pretty vintage wallpaper pattern. Here's another pattern I created using the little grateful circle image from my new gratitude journal stamp set. Just another idea for you. Really, you can look at any of the small stamps from your stamp sets and you could probably create a background pattern with at least one image from each set. So to finish off the card, I'm using the Tag Sale number 4 die, and I've die cut some craft cardstock, and I've got the Just a Note sentiment from the Postmark stamp set. I chose this particular sentiment because I like the sort of vintage feel that the font has. I'm going to stamp it in dark chocolate ink just on the bottom of the tag. Now I've got the new Bloom Builders number 3 die. I've gone ahead, for the purposes of time, I've gone ahead and created the flower, stitched a Pure Poppy button through the Raspberry Fizz flower, and I'm using the Harvest Berries stamp set and coordinating die. I've already die cut and stamped a couple of leaves here with Pure Poppy ink that I'm going to tuck behind the flower. So I'm just going to add a bit of adhesive just on one of the leaves so that I can fluff the other ones forward just a bit. I kind of want to get everything lined up a little bit before I really commit to adhering everything down. I'm adhering the flower with a bit of score tape because it's nice and sticky. That way I don't have to worry that the flower might fall off. And there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll stick everything down really well, and then I'm going to go ahead and fluff the petals on the flower forward just a bit, and I'll do the same with a couple of the leaves there. Now one last finishing touch for the flower, or for the tag, I'm sorry. I've got a bit of fine linen not cardstock, fine linen ribbon here that I'm going to tie just a simple little loop through the top hole on the tag. I'm going to fold the ribbon in half lengthwise and snip a cute little V out of the ribbon. I'll do the same on the other side. And now it's ready to be adhered to my card front. Just going to put a few little foam adhesive squares on the back of the tag. I'll just peel off the backing and stick her down. Just want to make sure everything's nice and lined up before I smash it down well. One last fluff of the petals and the leaves. And there you have it, a really pretty background pattern created with just a simple little flower image. We'd love to see your take on this week's Make It Monday challenge. Pull out those stamp sets and see what images you've got that you could turn into a background. Be sure and head over to Nicole Hetty's blog to upload the link to your project so we can all see what you came up with. That's it for me. This is Dawn McVeigh with Make It Monday. Have a great week and thanks for watching.